So I tell you, if I had a dollar bill for every time I had a therapist tell me, I know I should look at my numbers on a consistent basis, I just don't. And if that's you, I want to start by saying this right out the gate. You're not lazy, you're not irresponsible, and you're not bad with money. You are just naturally responding to stress. And that's okay. I am Alan Pruitt. I'm the therapist CPA, and this channel is for therapists in private practice who want fewer tax surprises and more clarity around their money without any overwhelm or shame. Welcome to day 6 of our 30 days to financial clarity for therapists. So let me tell you this is something I've learned about working with therapists is that avoidance around money is a very, very common thing. And it's quite okay because there are ways around it. There are helpful and good ways that things that we can do to really help you get a lot more comfortable with it, because this is not something that you guys just, naturally deal with. And that's cool. That's okay. We are going to do some things together that helps you get over that. So, and especially when it's something that you might not necessarily understand, because when numbers feel unpredictable, when they feel confusing or emotionally loaded, the natural nervous system treats them as a threat. And when something feels threatening to us, we just naturally want to back up and avoid it. The problem is the avoidance of it doesn't actually reduce the stress. It typically increases it over time. So when we don't look at our numbers, it just kind of builds and builds in the background, and it becomes a bigger, scarier monster in the closet, so to speak, than it actually is. I can't tell you how many therapists I've had who have come to me after a couple of years of not doing their tax returns because, once again, just avoiding it, avoiding the numbers, not wanting to look at it, scared to know what that final tax bill is going to be. Like a second, third year therapist who, started their private practice. First year went pretty well. Second year went even better. But then they were nervous about doing their taxes, so they just avoided them altogether. And every single time when we help one of our therapists catch up on those back taxes, they're like, oh my gosh, Alan, this was such a relief that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. One, because we're going to help you tax plan and reduce those numbers. But two, and most importantly, it gets, it opens the closet, it puts light on that scary monster that's in the closet. And so those imagined scenarios that we build up in our mind are almost always worse than we think they are. So the goal here isn't to suddenly fix your finances or you become a mathematician or a Excel whiz. Although if you want to, I can teach you how to do that. But really here, the goal is to build tolerance. We want tolerance for looking. We want tolerance for noticing, and we want tolerance for being with and sitting with the information that we are given. Because once again, numbers, tax bills, they are just numbers. They are not indicative of who you are or how well your practice is doing. All of these things are relative, and they are just information that helps us get to the next step. So here's one supportive step that you can do to create a low pressure money moment. That's what I like to call them, money moments. Set a timer, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Look at those reports that your CPA sends you, your monthly P&Ls, your monthly financials. You don't have to fix anything. I just want you to sit with them and observe. Look at them, look at the patterns, see what they say. And then I want you to even say, guess what? This is just information. I'm just gathering information right now. And this helps retain your nervous system to understand that looking at money, looking at financials, looking at these reports does not equal danger. Over time, these short neutral check-ins will help you build confidence and reduce anxiety far, far more than avoidance ever could. Once again, I've seen this so many times where it is just avoided. So just take a little bit of small time to take a look at it, and you will be okay at the end of it. And here's something important to remember is that you don't need perfect numbers to move forward. And even if you're looking at it for the first time in a long time, you might not even know what perfect numbers are. And that's okay. But you just need enough clarity to make your next decision. And so over the rest of this series, we'll continue breaking this down because we want money to feel more like information and less of a threat. So if this resonates, please subscribe for financial guidance specifically for therapists in private practice. And I'd love to hear from you below, like what part of your finances feels the hardest for you to kind of sit with, to look at, to take in. Please share that in the comments because your comment will no doubt help somebody else. Thanks, y'all. Be blessed. Peace.